What's good, everybody? It's me again. I, at this age, at this mature age of 40 plus, I be saying 35 plus, low key, fronting, fronting like I'm not actually 40 plus. Remember, she keeps coming up, right? So 40 plus. At this age of 40 plus, I have very few regrets. I have very few regrets, to be honest. And one of my main regrets, to be honest, is that I did not have more fun. I actually still feel like one of the things about being a DJ is and then maybe that's why that's an airplane in the background, just so you don't get alarmed. That's all that is. But and I think maybe I really, really wanted to play for work, so that I'm maybe ensuring that I'm actually having a good time this lifetime. Because again, people always assume because you don't got a regular 9 to 5 that you don't work. Whereas even attempting to work for yourself is literally 4 or 5 times as much work. You gotta promote yourself, you gotta get the equipment, you gotta put it together, and so DJing, because of technology, DJing's become easier because of technology. But I started DJing when we were still using turntables and a little box. Yeah, I remember the little, I don't even know what we even call it, interface. The little interface box you hook up to your turntables and you hook that up to the computer. So it was a harder thing to do, and therefore it was considered more of a specialty that we can charge more for. And so since the equipment is cheaper and everybody can do it, it kind of cheapens the skill, right? Because you don't even know how. You don't have to be a good one to just go do it. You don't have to have a good DJ to have a DJ. You could just have someone download the little app and just go do it. But when I started DJing, it wasn't that simple, and you can charge more, right? Which is why I'm just, shifting. I'm shifting to the left, but I'm not leaving DJing altogether. But I realized when I came into this lifetime, I think I chose something that looks like play for work, because I'm actually a very serious person, to be honest. I actually have a bad habit of taking life too seriously, taking myself too seriously. It took me years of maturing, loving and losing, right? To see the judgment, releasing the judgment. It took me a long time to really learn how to lighten up more, which is also why I got better about, I hope the shadow of like the tall trees, because I usually record higher, but I found this cute little nook, and like I could change, but I don't know if I want to. I'm comfortable here, and I didn't think about the trees going in front of the thing. I kind of like it somewhat in a cinematic kind of way. But I showed this also. We're literally in Libra season. Libra, the scales judgment. And so I had to release a lot of judgment. I was also like a self-judgment. I was very much a perfectionist, and which leads me to my other regret. To be honest, I wish I believed in myself more. Like, I wish I allowed myself to have more fun, as opposed to constantly being in this anxiety around just doing this one thing perfectly. In other words, when I was DJing, I shouldn't have just DJed. Like, I should have made more mixes. I should have made more music. I should have made more songs. I should have took more pictures. I should have taken more footage. I should have flirted more, right? I tend to back pocket relationships Even now, I talk about this on here often, how I it's not that I'm not open to relationship, but I don't want to have to explain to somebody why I get tired of explaining to people why I'm making the choices that I make and why I'm not doing what everybody else is doing. And it's kind of like, if you don't get it, you don't get it. And I don't feel like explaining it to nobody, and stuff like that. So I'm just like, you know what, relationships ain't really going nowhere. And then maybe I took that for granted. And see, which also leads me to this next one, right? I think believing in myself more would allow me to also probably make more money. And if I believed in myself more, I probably would have saved better, right? Because I didn't think of it as something that could even go far. I was just trying something. I was just wanting to be a part of things. I wasn't an aspiring DJ. It just looked like something I could do easily for the sake of doing something with my life. And so that's why you have the Six of Pentacles. I feel like there's, like me, you're probably experiencing a lot of healing around your relationship to money, right? It's like if I truly believed in what I was doing more, I would have managed my money better. You know what I'm saying? I would have invested my money better. Although, like I said, in retrospect, I'm glad I did well. It's like I would give myself like a B, not so much a B plus. You know what I mean? It's like I would have given myself like a B minus. And very similar to when I was in school, I was kind of a B average student, but mainly I never did homework. So I was a little bit too smart for my own good. And it's like just because I know I could pass the class without doing any homework doesn't mean, you know what I mean? Like, it's like I got the B with almost no effort. And it's like if I would have gave a little bit more effort, there would have been an A. And I guess that habit just stayed with me through everything else that I'm doing, right? This is on the bottom of the deck. I feel like judging myself, second guessing myself, downplaying myself, and if nothing else, it led to a world of hurt. If you're going to take yourself for granted, people are going to take you for granted, which is one of the reasons, too, why I don't take everybody too personally. I understand my outside world is a reflection of my inside world, and I mean, not to say that everything's my fault, I saw it from the corner of my eye, and I'm like, I got to stop ignoring, right? That devil, those bad habits, and maybe even toxic connections. A lot of times, the downplaying and not believing in yourself it's like if you're gonna be a rug, there will be people to come into your life to walk all over you, and they won't feel bad. And that's just the reality of it. This devil card is also Capricorn energy. It's funny because I was just thinking about the sign of Capricorn. It's a random thing. It's a random thing for me to be thinking about while I'm going for a walk. And Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. Saturn is connected to karma amongst a bunch of other concepts, and so I feel like a lot of my karma came through my relationships. Right? A lot of my karma came through my relationships. Let me also mention the chart that I was born with is my Venus was in Capricorn. My Venus was in Capricorn. And so it was how I treat me. How I treat me is how people really treat me. And it was just no getting around that. God is like, there's no exceptions with you. What you put out is exactly what you get back. How you treat yourself is exactly how they're going to treat you. Woo. Believe in yourself, right? This Emperor card's been coming out quite a bit. Somebody's in a good mood. Oh, I dropped stuff. Okay. Oh. Alright. See what I dropped. This is what I dropped to the floor just now. Right? And so, you learn the lessons. And from learning the lessons, you are in a much more stable energy. And from that stable energy, you start to manifest the things. So Spirit keeps telling us, like, hey, we got manifestations coming in. Things and people. And I like this. I think I said, I might have said it, like, there's a lot of cards in here that could represent relationships, you know, depending on the kind of relationship we're talking about and what where it wants to pop up in the spread. This is my favorite one, I think, because of my childlike nature. It's like I recently reconnected with, like, the first girl I tried to get with. I think she was literally the first and last person I actually tried with, to be honest with you. And so I feel like healing a lot of that, and then she's doing her own healing, and which is really beautiful and refreshing, and we're able to just reconnect and talk. Just discuss. We're not debating, we're not arguing, we're not, you know what I mean? But I feel like Spirit wants to bring into our lives more of that childlike innocence into our connections, right? Because I feel like, and this is just the manifestations, yo. Lots of manifestations, a lot of things. You've been wishing and praying and hoping for a lot of things, and releasing the judgment, releasing whatever, all the bad habits, releasing the bad habits, accepting that, you know, I stepped in that shit. I walked that way, I stepped in shit, I got the shit on me, and so yeah, and honestly, the only real way to deal with karma is acceptance. Accept it. You know, yeah, I won't ramble on too much. Let's see, we're doing good. This fresh air is feeling amazing. All right, now. See, you got people smiling at me. I know when I sit here and do this, for some reason, I guess people just feel my good mood. And these three just came out all together. I don't even usually like to do this, right? It's the walking away from that old self. Learning to love yourself, but also finding love. And then maybe get out and flirt. Maybe that's why this card keeps coming out with this one in particular, because it makes me think of the Leo energy the most. It's like maybe Spirit is saying to go out and flirt. Maybe they aren't talking about anyone in particular. It's like Leo is a fire energy, like a go for it energy, and they are flirty, right? Like fire signs are very flirty. So this might, you know what I mean? It's kind of like heal whatever the thing is that's stopping you from not just putting yourself out there. Because I don't. That's so funny. I just damn near juggled this, right? They're like, bro, Z, you know what I mean? I know in my case, you're a high priestess. Maybe you're a high priest energy. The point is you're high vibrational. They're like, you've grown so much. It's like you've grown so much spiritually. You're much wiser than you used to be. And you're magical. Like, that's part of the conversation I was having with my friend, is like, I'm talking to them, I'm just like, I knew it. You know, you just meet somebody, you just know, like, I have anxiety issues. And I know what that really is. Like, no, they don't really. And, you know, it's one of the toughest things about being so empathic and so high vibrational and so psychic and so intuitive is nobody teaches you how to be those things. Nobody teaches you how to be those things. So it oftentimes will show up in you as anxiety. Sometimes you're picking up other people's anxiety because everyone around you is anxious. You know what I'm saying? But now from this space of recognizing, like, whoa, I am really magical. Like, she told me a story about something she wanted to manifest, and in other words, she's practicing her magic. and surprising herself. And I'm just like, she surprised me, but not really. And I'm just like so excited. So I'm so excited for this, I want to say, reconvening with an old friend. Yeah. So yeah, where we just talk about believing in your magic, right? And that's the conversation we were having. Is I told her, I said, I'm this means everything in the world to me, because now I have someone to practice, right? Now I have someone to practice with, right? This doesn't have to necessarily be a love card. Like, maybe this is literally the conversation that we're having about, like, yo, we can help each other, we can practice, we can we can support each other in this way. And then 8 is expansion. Wands is action. We're taking expanded action. Whew. Taking expanded action. There's going to be some conflict, right? It literally looks like this. It literally came out in this order, and I'm going to show you what order it came out in. Right? 8 of Wands. Now that you believe in yourself, you're going to take bigger strides. You're going to take actions that really move the needle, right? And naturally, there's going to be some internal conflict. Maybe there's some people around you that never wanted you to expand. Maybe some people, new levels, new devil. There's always going to be a hater, but that don't have to mean nothing, because look what's literally right behind that card. The fulfillment card. So it's like taking that expanded action will definitely lead to some conflict, especially if there's some people that don't want you to expand. But it don't matter. It don't matter. Right? Right underneath that was this. Be the it's like, let your sassy energy out. Right? It's like, because I love looking at the little cat there, and it's like believing in your intuition. But when I think of fire signs, I mean, we got 3 fire signs, but when I see this card, I tend to more so think of Sagittarius and their sassiness. Like, you cannot tell me what to do. Like, you know what I'm saying? You might need some of that sassiness when this conflict comes around. You know what I'm saying? You're like, I got shit to do. And they're just like, I don't think so. And you just say, I do think so. Actually, who you talking to like that? You know what I'm saying? You can't tell a Sag nothing. When they decide they're going to do something, you can't tell them nothing. And you'll get this fulfillment card. Boom. Right underneath that, that's Queen of Pentacles, right? It's taking charge of their pockets. Yeah, now that I've learned my lesson, and now that I'm believing in myself more, I said, when we know better, we do better. Right? She's like, now I'm taking care of my money. That's why I'm going to take care of my money better. I've been saving a lot better. I've quit a couple habits that was draining my pockets. Right? I love this. I'm literally not even shuffling. It landed in that order. I love it. But that also tells me that just like everything is in perfect alignment for you. Right? Everything is in perfect alignment for you. Just go do the thing. You know exactly what you need to do. You know exactly what you want to do. We walk by faith, not by sight. You already know. Never mind what it looks like. Just do the thing. Right? Now it's King of Pentacles. That's the balance. Right? You're taking better care of your money. Because it's like feminine energy. It's like, I feel like my parents is a perfect example. Whereas my mom, she is like the master of getting more bang for your buck. Like, that was always kind of like inside joke with us It's like you could send my mother to the grocery store with $10 and she will come back with a full meal. And so I love that. So my mother showed me how to get more bang for my buck. My mother showed me how to survive on little. And at the same time, my dad was very much a quality over quantity kind of person. And so which is how I move in my business, to be honest. That's why I had a lot of really good equipment that lasted me the entire time. I just sold the speakers that I bought like 15 years ago. I just sold those speakers because I took care of them. My dad taught me quality over quantity. It's like, if you can afford the better speakers, if you can afford the better couch, a lot of times we just want something. We think we're doing something. We think we're saving by getting the cheaper thing every time, and that actually costs you in the long run. If I keep buying the cheap thing and it breaks, and I buy the cheap thing and it breaks, and I buy the cheap thing and it breaks, I've actually spent more money on it than if I had just bought the thing of more quality. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Quality over quantity. That's what my dad taught me. And the King of Pentacles is also like getting more into the vibration of making money. Just getting out there. I've basically been like kind of like taking an inventory of all my talent, skills, and abilities, and thinking about the ways that I can put them together to get out there and make money. Right? 8, expansion, action. What is he doing? Literally working on those pentacles. It's time to make money. So like, that's the conversations I've been having with people. Like, yo, let's put our heads together. Let's put our heads together. Let's go make this money. Right? Dancing to the beat of your own drum. As Aquarians often do. Being balanced, right? One foot in the water, one foot on the earth. Right? I'm a lot more balanced. My spiritual self and my physical self is much more in alignment. And I'm coming out my shell and allowing my light to shine more, by being on here. Phew. Right? I shuffled once, I think I shuffled 2 or 3 times, and everything is aligned for you. I know I'm kind of spitting and stuff. I'm hoping y'all don't notice. But it's not like it's on you, right? But you know what I'm saying? 4 wands, more wands. It's a lot of wands and a lot of cups. So I feel like that means you're going to be taking much more expansive and inspired action in order to gain fulfillment. Right? That was always the point. I didn't want it to be the prettiest. I didn't want to be the best at this or that. I just wanted fulfillment for me. Right? It was never a competition. It was never a competition, although in reality I had to learn a lot about setting boundaries. Right? Because I'm a nice person and I want everybody to do well. I want everybody to do good. I want everybody to have things. But unfortunately, some people don't want you to have things, and like, I needed to learn to set boundaries better, right? Standing my ground. Like, this is what I'm doing, right? Because like, being a healer. And when I think of the number 6, I think of healing as in healing oneself. And when I think of the number 7, I think of when you are opening yourself to sharing that with others, right? So it's like, this is the action that I'm taking, sharing my story, sharing some of the things I've been through, doing these readings and standing my ground and stating like, this is what I'm doing. Which is why the conversation started off with me saying, I don't have any regrets. A lot of people assume because things didn't quite work out in the perfect way that you hoped, people always assume that I wish I did what they did. I don't. I'm glad I took the route that I took. I do not wish I took another route. I only wish that I believed in myself more and that I had more fun, because it would have affected the outcome. It's like I got the outcome I got because I wasn't fully believing in myself, not because I went in the wrong direction. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And so now that we're finally releasing the judgment. It's Libra season. It's a sign of judgment. It's also an air sign, right? So, time to give it to God. Put it up in the air. Maybe even there may be some things you may even need to say, right? When I think of Libra air sign, right? It's the intellect, the ideas, also Halloween, All Saints, celebrating the Day of the Dead. Excuse me. Celebrating, I want to say the other side of the coin, right? Like, we only celebrate the sunshine, but it's important to also celebrate the darkness, the yin and the yang, right? The world is whole with it. And I also was talking about it when I was talking to my friend. I mentioned how I overcame my fear of the dark. Like, I was afraid of the dark well up until my 30s. And so I feel like it's kind of like overcoming the fear of the dark, and maybe because really in order to truly be a light worker, you need to also be a shadow worker. And so celebrating having done that shadow work, celebrating laying an old version of yourself to rest, and literally celebrating the dead, celebrating those who came before you and who passed the baton to you, whether you know them, whether you know who they are or not, right? I don't have these gifts for nothing. I know my ancestors, many of my ancestors had these gifts too. And I feel like because I'm the one here in the physical who opened myself up to receiving these gifts, they were able to share them with me. They're just like, oh my goodness, we have this person, because they're not just sharing it with me because they think I'm so cute or because I'm so smart. It's because I'm a good person. Because they trust that I'm not here to use this maliciously. Right? But that's a whole conversation in and of itself. So like celebrating those that came before you, like my dad, my grandma, my uncle, so many losses in just the last couple of years. But I think about those ancestors sometimes who lived through slavery, right? People look at my life and they see me having a hard time. That was a hard time. This ain't nothing. Those ancestors that was getting assaulted, that was getting whipped, that had no freedom, that had chains on their physical ankles, right? No matter how hard I've had it, I've never had that. I've never had to go through that. Thank you for those who survived that. Thank you for the ones who didn't. Thank you to the ones who freaking said, thank you to the ancestors who jumped off the boat. You understand what I'm getting at here? Honoring the dead is honoring those who came before you. Everybody, so I want to act all scary. Oh, Halloween's the devil holiday. Like, we cry at people's funerals, and then where the hell you think and then you just go about your life? You don't honor them? What was the point of the funeral then? If you want to be technical, if Halloween's the devil's holiday, then so are funerals, if you want to be technical about it. But no matter how hard I've had it, I've never had to be a slave. I never had to pick cotton. I never had to live in a shack. I never had to hide my relationship for fear that Master might sell my husband. I never had to, like I said, give birth to a child that was, what's the word? Give birth to a child that was conceived through assault and then watch them be assaulted. Okay, that was a horror movie. That was a horror movie. That was the ultimate horror. Thank you to the ancestors even before them. Thank you to those ancestors who were here when those ships first landed. Thank you to you. Thank you who tried to save yourself. Thank you who didn't save yourself. Thank you who stood up to these colonizers. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for existing. Thank you for the ones, even the ones who did what they got to do. Right? The ones who participated in slavery. We don't talk enough about that, but I don't want to get into details, but I'm saying, like, nothing I went through was nowhere near close to that. We're so spoiled here. We're so spoiled here that people literally look at my life and think that this is a hard time. I didn't have to live through segregation. I didn't have to be born on a cotton field. I just watched a movie starring Keke Palmer about a woman who was kept in slavery well into the 60s. Right? Some people were held captive well past the due date. Because all they have to do is keep somebody sheltered long. If you keep somebody sheltered from the rest of the world, they don't know. This woman is 1960s. And she didn't know until she ran. She had to run away. She had to fight for her life to run away to realize slavery ended almost 100 years ago. And they just didn't tell her. That is crazy. But that is a true story. That is somebody's true story. You think that I'm going to jump off a bridge because some girl rejected me? You think I'm about to go take my own life because some job rejected me? What the hell is rejection? What the hell are you even saying? What the hell even is rejection? What are we talking about here? I'm supposed to feel rejected by what? We didn't land on Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock landed on me. I don't need Plymouth Rock's acceptance. I've been here. That's a whole nother conversation. But anyway, thank you. Thank you. See, here comes an old person. The spirit's here. I'm gonna tell you. See, I just said thank you to ancestors, right? Dead ass. I just said thank you to the ancestors, and an old woman just walked by me. She looked like she holding her she's an old woman who just walked by me. I'm sorry. There are sirens back here because I'm on fire. Somebody must have called the fire department because I'm burning up back here. But anyway. So I just said thank you to the ancestors, and she looked like she could be about 80. Walked by slowly, looked like she's holding her phone up to, maybe she listens to some music, and maybe she listens to a podcast or something. And she's wearing all red, right? I wore red today too. I don't know, I felt like wearing red today, right? Maybe I'm healing my root chakra, all right? In terms of talking about releasing self-judgment. Because those ancestors are a part of my roots. Like literally the movie Roots. And so these ancestors, this connection with the ancestors helping me heal is in turn helping them heal, is in turn helping me, like, I guess I'm helping them, they're helping me. And like, I guess to be more specific, healing my root chakra. My root chakra. Your root chakra is when I think of root chakra, and I don't know if anybody, this is not really out of anybody's textbook. But when I think of root chakra, I also think of the sign of Aries, which is why it's like red, Aries red, root chakra red, because Aries is the first sign. Aries is the first sign. Aries is the I am. Fire, right? Also, fire is an initiating. It's an initiating element. You know, like when you say we need to spark it up, when we need to start something, and then you get something going, you use spark. We need that spark. I seen a meme recently that said, I won't tell anybody that I got my spark back, but there'll be signs, right? And so, yeah. Phew. There will be signs. All right, y'all. We're doing it. Hey, we're doing it. All right, y'all. Peace.